Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the future of the water and wastewater industry, the careers you didn't know about. And we are on location live at the Ocean's Edge Resort at the AWWA CWWA conference. And with me, we have a new friend, Miss Sally Wright, who is actually the Standards and Counsel Chair for AWWA, but she's also with the City of Dallas. Hi, Sally.
Hi, David. Thanks for having me today.
Well, thank you for coming on and taking time out of your schedule. So, what brings you to New England?
So I don't know if everybody knows this, but the executive committee for AWWA,
Yep.
the board members, so the president and the vice presidents, it also has standard council chairs who get to serve in those roles.
Uh-huh.
So in addition to having the roles of the executive committee, one of the other additional responsibilities that we all have is sharing the opportunity to go out to all the different sections and meet with them and go to their section conferences and really tell them about what's going on at AWWA.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, how long have you been involved in this section?
With the section?
With the AWWA.
Oh, with AWWA. Oh, I got my 20-year pin about 3 years ago, so
Awesome.
I guess it's about 23 years.
Fantastic. Time flies when you're having fun.
It is.
So, going back, and the whole premise of this podcast that I instituted a little over a year ago, is to try to attract newer members to our aging workforce and so forth. So, tell us a little bit how you got into the industry.
Oh, I got into the industry from a friend.
Ah.
Imagine that.
How about that?
So while I was in high school, I needed a part-time job.
Okay.
And a friend of mine, his mom owned a small water quality backflow company and needed somebody to help in the office.
Nice.
And that kind of spurred my, what is this all about?
Yes.
Then when I went to college, every college student needs a little part-time job.
Sure,
And
you got a side hustle.
yeah, and she was just like, look, we're doing all of these backflow programs for people's, and we've got this new software system. We just need somebody to take all their papers and put it into the computer. So it was a great part-time job. It got me still engaged, kept me involved, and then afterwards, I got real lucky, and she actually hired me.
Nice. Well, cross connections are a huge thing in the industry, and so forth. I'm a certified inspector tester and so forth, so know it well as far as that goes. But it's interesting when you say software programs. I mean, every state has different requirements when they're submitting their cross connection report, which has to be submitted every March.
Yes.
And so forth. And I know Connecticut is, we use Tokay software in Connecticut, but there are many others out there as far as that goes. So that's great. Now, in your function for the City of Dallas, what do you do there?
So my title is Assistant Director of Water Production. What it really means is I have really the honor and privilege of working with an incredible team who are responsible for running the 3 surface water treatment plants, and also manages the Lake Ray Hubbard, which is one of the sources which is the only source we own, but one of the sources that we pull from.
Now, is your water supply primarily surface?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's all surface water.
It's all surface water. So, how did you fare in the rain? Did you guys get hit with rains down there during the?
Somebody, when I was here just the other day, they were teasing me that you guys get all 3 seasons in one day.
Oh, yeah.
I would say that we are very similar in the state of Texas. We could have a beautiful, sunshiny, hot day, and the next day we've got hail and rain and whatnot. And so, yeah, we do get a lot of surface water, and unfortunately, the rains don't come when we want them to come.
It's always the way.
Yeah. They always come, when you kind of least expect them, and but we take it when we can get it.
Yeah, there you go. And then you have to deal with the turbidity levels and everything else that goes along with it.
Most definitely.
As far as that goes. So, when you are your filter plants, are they rapid sand? Are they what type of filtration plants?
So we're conventional treatment.
Okay.
Flocculation, sedimentation,
Okay. All right.
enhanced coagulation.
Okay.
Now, what's really neat is that 2 of our 3 plants have already transitioned to biological active filtration.
Oh, okay.
And we are currently in the process of building a brand new filter gallery at the 3rd and last water treatment plant that's going to allow us to have that continuity across all 3 plants.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now,
I should add that we got ozone too.
You have ozone too?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Fantastic. Well, ozone is good. Now, are your plants integrated with one another, and do you move water back and forth to other areas, and or are the 3 plants serve their specific areas?
No, so that is one of the neat things about the Dallas water system. It is very resilient. I think I mentioned it earlier today about having folks long before I came along who were so smart, who made sure that we have that backup ability. Mm-hmm. So what's neat is that, all 3 plants, move water into the system, and then the pumping team actually has the ability to move water throughout the system as it's needed. Mm-hmm. It allows us to take plants down to do our routine maintenance or to reduce capacity while we're doing maintenance, and it just makes sure that those areas of town that need more water are getting it as they need it.
Oh, great. Now when you graduated high school and embarking on your career path, okay, did you have any idea where you were going to end up?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. If you had told me, 25 years ago that I would be serving the city, well, first of all, living in the city of Dallas, Texas, I'd be like, no way. I'm actually from Oregon originally.
Oh, okay.
And so that would have been the first one. And then when I first got into water, I was all about water quality and the distribution side of things.
Okay. And
I was like, no, I'm not. Let's just be honest. Once we kind of get into our niche, sometimes we stay where we're at. And I really never had visions of moving into treatment.
Okay.
Until the opportunity was presented to me.
Well, see, there you go.
There you go.
Now, as far as in relation to your staff, how big a staff do you have that you're managing?
So I have what's called 4 divisions.
Okay.
So each division is each plant, and then the 4th division would be the Lake Ray Hubbard program.
Okay.
In total, I have about anywhere from 160 to 180 employees.
Okay. And obviously, well, I don't know what your class plants are here. That would probably be a class 4 plant. Or you're a class 1.
I don't know if they actually, I don't think I've ever heard them identified as class.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as certifications, we have our, class 1 operator, class 2. It's basically when you're getting into, flocculation and filtration and so forth, you're into class 4. So,
I see.
And so forth. Versus, for a small, we're a small municipal water system, basically, which is just we buy 60% of our water from the Metropolitan District in Hartford, but we have a gravel pack well, and basically all we do with that is commingle the water with MDC. Unfortunately, years ago, our founding fathers, we had a reservoir online, and of course with the Safe Water Drinking Rule that required all surface water supplies to be filtered, our forefathers decided they didn't want to build a filtration plant, so we ended up buying water from MDC and so forth. But during the well, basically, it's primarily just doing disinfection and pumping it in the system. So
in Texas, really, our operator levels that are associated with it is really due to the size of the population that we serve.
Okay.
So for us, because the city of Dallas actually serves 2.6 million people, that would be 1.3 residents of Dallas, as well as an additional 1.3 with our customers.
Okay.
We also, and to do so, we have very large plants. So our largest is it's a rated 540. It's run at about 440 million gallons a day.
Okay.
Our middle child, the Elm Fork, is a 310 million gallon a day plant. And then we have our baby plant, which is actually our oldest plant. I think we're going to be celebrating our 100-year anniversary here in a couple of years, and they are at 150 MGD.
My God. Yeah, and I thought getting up over 1 million gallons in Portland is a big deal. Anyway, going back to your employee, what's the cross section of your ages of your employees?
Which you know what, we got a mix of everything.
Really,
we really do. We have folks who are coming in right out of high school, and we have folks who are. They keep telling me they're going to retire. And I'm like, no, you can't go. And then they come back and say, well, you convinced me.
Okay.
So,
well, that's good.
But yeah, no, we've got them of every generation.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Well, that's good. Now, do you have any type of recruitment program of refilling that pipeline, so to speak?
I think that's a bit of a challenge that we face, and it's because there's a lot of competition for that.
Sure.
And so we have a wonderful HR program who works their darndest to really get the word out.
Okay.
We are also trying to participate with the community college. They have like an intern program.
Uh-huh.
And so, we try to bring them in and get them to work at our plants. There's internship programs like with the universities during the summer for engineers and folks like that, and we'll invite them in. I would say it's not as robust as I would like it to be, but we're definitely making movements in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you find most students go to the community college route versus the university, or what's the pathway there?
So with the water treatment plants, we've got chemists, which require degrees,
right.
Engineers.
Yeah.
And then, we've got a lot of trades folks.
Okay.
Electricians, mechanics, operators. And those are a different breed where we do have to do a little bit extra work to go and find the right avenues in which we can be, advertising our positions too.
Sure.
And so I would say most of our operators do not have degrees.
Okay.
And some of them come in with associates.
Okay.
One of the nice things about the city of Dallas is that it does a great job of helping support folks who want to go back for higher education. So it's neat. Sometimes folks come in and they find their place finally. They find like this is their passion. And they also want to serve and do more.
Okay.
And in order to get into those management positions, they go after some degree.
Sure. Now, do you have the tuition reimbursement programs?
We do have a tuition reimbursement program.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's always the carrot that
it helps.
Is out there as far as that goes. But if you're looking at, and again, the whole premise of the podcast is trying to get that workforce development going. If you were to give some advice to maybe a high school senior or a college freshman, what would you say?
Take a look. No, I would say so. So my story is my grandmother was a teacher.
Okay.
My father is a 20-year military veteran.
Uh-huh.
My brother's a veteran. I grew up in a household where we had professions of that really gave back to our community, our country. Uh-huh. And these are careers with purpose.
Right.
And when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life, please don't take this the wrong way, I didn't want to join the Army. I saw what my dad went through, and I was like, that's not what I want. And I don't think I have the patience to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And so I was really looking at, well, where can I find a position? Where can I find a career, a profession that I can make a difference, like I can do something for my community. And so when I ran across my friend whose mom owned this business, and I got to see, wow, I can help bring clean drinking water to entire communities. And it rung true with me, and it really inspired me, and it really drew me. And so what I would say to any high schooler or college student who is they don't know where they want to go yet, I would say to you, water and wastewater and stormwater,
sure.
It's all one water.
Yeah.
It's a profession of purpose, and
it's a noble profession.
It's a very noble profession, but it's also challenging,
sure.
And it's exciting, and it's fun. Like I know a lot of my staff will tease me because when people say, what job do you have? I say, I have the greatest job in the world. And they're like, wow, we want to drink your Kool-Aid. And I'm like, come and drink it.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I do. I mean, my job is hard.
Yep.
There are days where I just, as I was mentioning earlier today, there are days where I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
But it's because every day is challenging.
Sure.
And there's a new hurdle, and it's like, okay, how are we going to solve this problem? And that's what I love about my job. My job is about problem solving.
Yeah.
And really trying to figure out, how are we going to keep doing this? How are we going to do it better?
Yeah.
And how are we going to meet that challenge head on? So it's hard. And
Oh,
there's moments.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, every day I wake up because I got the greatest job in the world.
There you go. There you go. Well, the thing is that, the other thing about this profession, from a standpoint of, again, succession plan, this isn't a profession that you can outsource to.
No.
India or the across the pond.
Mm-hmm.
We need boots on the ground,
Yeah.
okay, to solve those problems, to fix those leaks, to make things happen, to provide, clean, potable water to our customers.
Yeah.
So that's so important as far as that goes. And like I say, it's a noble career that you can make a very good living at.
Yes.
And it's secure.
It is. There's a lot of things. I mean, I've found people who they really enjoy working in their community,
Mm-hmm.
for their community. A lot of the times we struggle with folks who work in trades, and one of the things that I see why a lot of them leave kind of the more traditional trade route and come and work for utility is because they are looking for a little bit more work-life balance.
Yep.
And they are looking for, things like benefits and retirement.
Sure.
And those kinds of things. I mentioned it earlier today, too, and that is, you kind of said, we can't outsource it. And it's like, you're right. Like with COVID, one of the things that really hit us was, we were essential employees. And we always know that we're essential employees, but we were still at the water treatment plants.
Yeah.
Even though we were challenged to find ways to encourage folks to work from home, there was a lot of things that we just couldn't, we're not getting around collecting samples. We're not getting around,
Right.
Being out there with our filter backwashes. We're not getting around, grabbing our ozone analyzers,
Yeah.
samples and whatnot. So, that was that's a real thing. I mean, like you said, boots on the ground. We're very present. We're there each and every day.
You show up.
We show up.
And that's 90% of the battle.
Yep.
You show up and get it done, as far as that goes. Now, as far as customer relations, do you have, how do you deal with customer relations as far as that customer service? Do you have a separate unit that does that type of thing?
So Dallas Water Utilities being as large as they are, as you can imagine, there's dedicated divisions for all of that. And so we have a dedicated water quality division who does an excellent job of responding to our customer concerns, and, of course, complaints.
Yep.
But, is there anytime anybody has a question, and does a fantastic job. In addition to that, they also do what we need with regards to the regulatory compliance requirements, sampling within our system, and whatnot. So they're really twofold. They're folks who are in the field who do incredible work, and they're grabbing those samples, and they do neat stuff like riding on a boat, getting out into those intakes and grabbing those samples. And they're also the people who are knocking on the door saying, "Hey, you gave us a call. You got a water quality problem. How can I help you?"
Yeah.
So it spans a pretty wide base.
Sure. Now, from a meter reading standpoint, are you guys pretty much AMR or a drive-by? Or
No, actually, we still do
mesh
manual. We still have a pretty large manual meter reading system program.
Okay.
That go out and actually go to each meter.
Okay, touchpads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. Okay. It's we do too. I mean, everybody's the technology is moving towards the mat systems and or the drive-by systems, and we've got a hybrid. As the technology moves, and it's always the same issue. There's always too much month at the end of the money.
Yes. Well, and I should say that Dallas has been slowly but surely, like you said, transitioning. When you've got as large of a system as we do, it doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly.
And so it's been a long-term commitment and effort to transition us that way. I think they've been doing a pilot for a long time, really trying to figure out, and again, kind of positioning the system so that they can transition to that fairly well.
Yep.
And that's kind of right. I think that's about where they're at this moment.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So
It's a process.
yes, it is. Anyway, hey, on a personal note, okay, my alter ego is when I graduated high school. I didn't know what I wanted, but I was a music teacher.
Oh, okay.
So. Unfortunately, but I worked in the water utility all the way through high school, all the way through college, and so forth. And then, with my wife became pregnant with our first child, the powers to be said, and I used to work part time, and they gave me my full time benefits. Well, they said that either you work full time or no time. So I says, well, I guess I work full time for a few years. So. Come next January, I'll be there 50 years.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things.
Congratulations.
But anyway, I'm still very involved in the music. So what's your taste in music?
What's my taste in music? I would say that one of my favorite bands is Death Cab for Cutie.
Okay.
Or the Decemberists.
Okay.
Really like the Killers. Grew up with Depeche Mode and New Order and
nice
whatnot. But you know what? There are days where, what woman doesn't like a little Beyonce and Lizzo? And, definitely growing up with my dad, I'm a big classic rock kind of folk.
Was there a concert that you went to that, you changed your life, so to speak, as far as musical?
That changed my life?
Yeah, this
probably
is who I
am. I was going to say my very first piano concert taught me that this is not who I am. That was a very frightful moment in my life, my small little tiny, professional musician career. But it's good to try those things because sometimes you got to try them to know that that's not your thing.
Sure. Okay. All right. I got a food question. If you got stuck on a desert island, what food could you eat every day?
Korean food.
Nice.
My mom is Korean, and let me tell you, I enjoy it very, very much, and so I like to cook it as much as I can, and if I could have it every day, I would.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Children?
Yes, I have a 9-year-old son named Connor.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And so what was he into?
Oh, gosh, what isn't he into? He's into soccer and taekwondo and Boy Scouts.
Nice.
And plays guitar.
No, he does. Okay.
He's taken some golf lessons.
Okay.
He has a much more grand life than I do. His social calendar is what, keeps me busy, really.
You're the Uber.
I am the Uber driver.
All right. Sally, thanks so much for taking time.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Giving us your perspective of your storied career, into the water industry, and we wish you much success and safe travels back to the Lone Star State, if you would.
Well, thank you, and thank you again for having me. And again, congratulations on 50 years with your utility. That's pretty impressive.
Time flies when you're having fun.
You do.
You go from there. All right.
Well,
hey, Miss Sally Wright is in the house, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the future of the water and wastewater industry. And that concludes this episode and the careers you didn't know about. So stay tuned. We're going to be doing some more interviews here at the Connecticut Section CWWA Annual Conference. So, Sally, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.